scheme from Dinka. And yeah, I'm curious to see, as mentioned, this time Sebastian has mixed Yummies with Purrely. And there are some interesting synergies there, so let's see. Okay, we start things off with the Purrely engine, and Dinka, you know, I mean, familiar with it, you see? Respect, I think it was another respect.
I mean, absolutely. The Purrely strategy that is not used a lot nowadays, of course, and not a lot of people just think that is a very usual strategy, but still, it can do some things. When people are not prepared to it, you can just get the games very easily. The fact that you are able to just summon an unaffected monster is always very strong. And yeah, mixing it with the Yummies, you, of course, have some bridges. And I'm very I'm not surprised, but I'm expecting to see some very strong field, to be honest.
I mean, I also feel like that Purrely has always been one of those decks we managed to get to see in action at previous YCSs also in the last 2 years, although, of course, they've fallen off on popularity, but still, it's always been a very consistent deck. And I really feel like it's one of those decks can really afford throughout the current format and also previous ones to basically be super competitive. Because if we look also at the Sebastian decks with the Yummy cards, which we haven't yet the chance to see in action, I really feel like you can basically adapt your strategy depending, of course, on the current format. But I also like his extra deck because essentially it's pretty much all one-offs, and that's all you need, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you mix such heavy, you know, extra deck reliant engines. Of course, extra deck space is an issue, but oof, it's a miss. I mean, gotta feel bad, but Dinka also got some important information, and here he goes. Wow, do we actually have the way to play right away? And that's a big opener from Dinka, who also just showed that he is not on just Fire King, but on those Jurracs.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good addition in Dinka's deck, which we haven't get the chance to see in previous tournaments, because essentially the Jurrac Megalo has a nice effect, which gets to send one of the Jurrac monsters also from the extra deck, which is something great, honestly. And also, once it's onto the field, you can discard up to 2 cards to draw essentially 2 new fresh cards from your deck.
Yeah, and it just allows the Fire King strategy to have a little bit more ceiling. You've got more interactions, and I think that is pretty good. Both players trying to add some other cards to just bring some more power and to be able to compete with all these the best decks, like the strategies, the Mitsurugi strategy, for example, which is very powerful. And we can compare those 2 decks, by the way, with the fact that they require a lot of skill, to be honest, to be used. If you do a single mistake playing Purrely or Fire King, it is very hard for you to win the game. And bringing some decks like that, when you have to play 15 rounds of Swiss, I mean, you have to be very confident, to be honest.
I mean, look at this, because essentially once the Astero gets sent to the graveyard, you can also banish itself and another Jurrac to essentially synchro summon like another monster from the extra deck, which was essentially negated here by the droplet, which I think was really needed from Sebastian. Yes.
Would have been a mess otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Dinka playing with some of these new tools, but I mean, Droplet is popular this weekend. We have seen it already a couple of times, merely for the Yummy matchup, but in this case, you can use it during your own turn. Works, so.
And I love this strategy, because essentially with just one card that is being sent from the extra deck to the graveyard, you're able to summon the Jurrac Meteor, and you essentially clear up the whole field. And then you also, that way you can also trigger the Garunix. I mean, it's the more card you can put up on the field, the scarier the deck gets, which I mean, we also discussed this before. I think it's also a matter of card choices, because Sebastian is playing Droplet in the main deck. We also see some other players main decking Dark Lurer. He also revealed some Book of Eclipses before when he missed. And I mean, I think this going second approach is paying off as well, even if now he started things off going first, and I think it's maybe one of the few scenarios in which the droplet was really needed.
I mean, without a droplet, I think it was pretty much over because both Purrely and Yummy, they want to get their bodies to stick on the field. And if you get literally your field wiped like that, I mean, you cannot do anything, and it's just over. And the Fire King strategy, it can end the game very quick. And speaking about the Fire King strategy, having the access to the Impulse is very, very good. One of the best cards of the format, of course. That's why Mitsurugi is such a strong deck. And yeah, Fire King can use this card as well.
But now, yeah, we can use the Capsi Yummy way in response, just bringing back a couple more monsters to the field. And yeah, I guess we just get rid of these Meteor.
And the fact that Kirin has now some other targets, because before it was a 3-card combos. If you wanted to interact with your opponent during his turn, now you still have the 3-card combos, but you also have the ability to use that on the Jurrac monsters, and I think that's pretty good, to be honest.
I mean, also, I feel like that every single time that we have quite of an established meta game in which maybe we have 3 or 4 dominant decks, Dinkabu shows up and proves us wrong, I would say. Because, of course, like, he's been playing this deck over the last year, and I mean, we saw him in action, and then he changed, kind of, you know, also adapting it to the current format. But I also really feel like that whenever he comes up with these ideas of like also adding up the Jurracs, I also wonder, yeah, okay, maybe we should consider him once again for the title, because of course, when you don't know what you're up against and with such niche interaction, honestly,
yeah,
how do you even deal with that?
And here we are gonna set up the Herald, which is extremely problematic for Fire King, you know. Destroying cards in the end or deck is common, and yeah, that's a big issue.
Absolutely, the second effect of the Herald is very, very strong because you don't want to get your resources banished, which is a bit hard for you, but there still is the Kirin for now on the field, which can just deal with the Herald.
Technically, but here you can see
there is the Link
exactly
on the field. So
one of the new tools from the latest Forbidden Limited list. Not surprisingly,
back.
Yeah, absolutely back, and works great in Yummy. And yeah, although we do have a Purrely card on the field, this looks more like a Yummy opener than anything else. Here.
But there is my friend on the field.
Yeah, exactly. He's there, supporting.
And I'm really curious to see how Dinka is gonna deal with all of that, because not only there is the Herald, which is a big threat to the Fire King strategy, but there is also the SP now.
Yeah, this was
all the Yummy strategy
played so beautifully by Sebastian, and I think, yeah, Dinka has just seen enough.
Yeah.
Not even gonna attempt. Let's see what this has in store. A lot of different ways to start plays. I know.
We saw some cards.
I know. I know, right? But do we open this access to Fire King Island? What do we want to go about our play? And okay, we do open Volcanics. Solid. And Sebastian having a read, I mean, not so surprised again, even though it won YCS 1 year back. Haven't really seen so much success lately.
So opening with Volcanics is a pretty strong start, to be honest. This is a good one, especially considering the fact that if your opponent has some targeting interruption, you still has the ability to just chain Kirin and get your effect going through. Here we're going to get rid of the Ash, which is indeed a fire monster.
Wow.
And search the Garunix, which will be able to special summon itself.
Yeah, obviously getting rid of Ash is not ideal. Might signal a second copy, even though in this deck you can get it back with... but as mentioned, there is the Droll and Lockbird. And it could be annoying. I was saying you can go Sunlight Wolf often and, you know, in a combo get the Ash Blossom back. But, yeah, I guess you would rather destroy other cars.
There we'll see, because the Viking strategy sometimes can just navigate around the draw and lock bird and just manage to just get the whole field.
But also Ash from Sebastian.
That's a lot.
Yeah, however, there
And we're
goes
going
the
to see the hand.
talent. And that's rough. If you get rid of friend, you have nothing in that end.
You're gonna have to top deck the right card.
And also something important to mention, we have seen players using Ash Blossom against Dinka back at the YCS, and with the ETA, it was actually detrimental because you can get into ETA and then Princess and still play. So this might actually be worse for Sebastian.
Let's see if he decides to just go into this play, and I think he is going to do so. The ETA is right
makes
there,
a lot of sense.
using the Ash immediately and going into the Promethean Princess. We've seen her so many times in the past, and she's back. Now we are going to special summon back a monster from the graveyard and be able to just extend the plays. And you know, every single time we see Sebastian reading the card, I just can't stop telling myself that you have to bring a deck like that, you know, to a YCS.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you take so much advantage from the lack of knowledge of your opponents.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. I think it's one of the best things, no? But
That's
okay.
the best. Yeah, and we top deck one of the best cards possible.
Wow.
Wow.
Heart of the cards.
Yeah, indeed. But still, the rest of the end was very underwhelming. I guess he doesn't have space for Larmilage in his extra deck with the Purrely, because otherwise we could also have seen the draw normal, but yeah, most likely no space. But we do have the Linkuribo, no?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now we are going to go into the Snatchy. And a bit of thinking over here, trying to figure out what Sebastian wants to do and what he can do exactly. But we are going to activate the Skyburn, which will then trigger all the effects in the graveyard, especially the Garnix. Getting rid of the Snatchy. Runix being special summoned and able to destroy from deck. I mean, pretty good spot to be in, to be honest. Right now, I don't see much things that Sebastian could do.
I mean, being left only with the drawn as well in the hand and another card, it's not ideal. I think Dinka, it's controlling this one.
Yeah, I mean,
quite okay, yeah.
It will be a big surprise for me if Sebastian won this one. But who knows?
There's a no.
yes, indeed. And this Fire King Avatar Kirin is a new inclusion in the deck as well, allowing you to extend your play sometimes further. It acts as a sort of foolish burial, and yeah, that is it. As expected, this
field up. But Dinka, we've seen that before. We know that he has a lot of tools going second. We've talked about the combo, of course, but there is still also his freak-out combos.
And I see a card he might want to return the favor back to Dinka from last game, so let's see what's gonna happen. But same start as game one for now with the Purrely. Usually accessing my friend Purrely, but
yeah, it's probably going to be the case because you want to just add some more resources, and yeah, indeed, it is the My Friend Purrely.
We see a
draw.
Nope.
It would be devastating, to be honest.
Yeah.
Duel and Logbird, I mean, in the meta games where Duel and Logbird is there, that's strong as well.
Yeah, that's strong as well, absolutely. And now there is a big decision, because, I mean, let's just say it. There is, okay, we're gonna chain this, I'm assuming, to just prevent one draw. And
I mean, the problem is that there is no good solution, to be honest. There is no good answer, because if you decide to stop there, then you are literally on nothing. And you cannot defend yourself against the Fire King strategy. And if you decide to just extend and go into your whole combo, it's going to be very difficult, very hard for you, because of course Dinka is going to just draw at some point the Jurrac cards plus the Kirin, and you cannot do a lot against that.
And that's an interesting decision. We got rid of the bell, and for anyone wondering what is the bridge, this opener, if it wasn't for the Fuvalos, I can just go into Yummies, because you can just go for a Link 1 and then you have, you know, your level 1 and Link 1. Do we whiff? No, we do not. Okay. Very different from the first game.
Yeah, he's gonna be happy with this one.
Yeah,
with the happy memory.
Yeah, either happy or pretty. I mean, tough to distinguish with the rarities. Yeah, now we just have my friend Purrely. Yeah, it's solid, but the question is just how much do you want to commit?
Yeah, that is not a very good situation to be in, to be honest. I don't know if he's going to go all in and try to just set his entire field up.
Yeah.
What would you do, to be honest?
The thing is that it's all about also how many cards do you want your opponent to draw, and where to and when to activate the talent. Because essentially you really want like to maximize on this. I mean, of course, the Fuvalos is playing a huge role, but I mean, I really feel like, of course, this is completely different than game one, being the Fuvalos there, and also I'm wondering, the Ghost Bell was discarded by Sebastian, so I mean, he really needs to make sure that this may be enough for him, you know.
Yeah, and we are giving now the first draw. Summoning actually the first, you know, Purrely XYZ, but there it is, Triple Tactics Talent taking a look. Oh, wow.
Oh, missing the resource. I mean, this is a good hand.
Yeah.
This is a good hand. There are multiple starters.
What do you even
It's very solid.
So do you get rid of the Alchonix, or?
Yeah.
The Sanctuary as well is good.
I mean, the hand looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh, got rid of the Ash Blossom.
So you want to combo, probably.
Yeah. I guess so, but then the question is, like, you just continue comboing first, no? Because then you can take a look at the end. So it's a bit of an interesting situation if you don't want to stop. But we should remember Michelanosaurus is limited, so even though it's there, it has been drawn as the one-off, which is, you know, quite fortunate. Obviously, the Jurrac, it's a level 1, so it all works out.
So now we activate the Happy Memory.
Yeah. And I think just some clarification on, I mean, we can't really interact, so.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, actually.
Exactly. So maybe just some reminders of what these additional bonus effects are. And yeah, Sebastian not happy. I mean, don't blame him. The end is very, very strong and he's pushing. Wow. Ooh. Yeah, that's very surprising.
The thing is, if you go for talent before doing this, are you really hoping that your opponent just doesn't have any other interaction?
And this is a big reveal. Kinda saved, but yeah.
I mean, it's not what you expected, to be honest.
Absolutely not. I mean, better than nothing, but definitely not what you wanted. But still, as you can see here, I mean, the goal has been accomplished, summoning this Noir unaffected. You basically ask your opponent, okay, how do you out it? And we are going for Yummy combo as well.
Oh, okay.
Because that seems very much committing into if now we want to go for like Capsi Yami. And yeah, for now at least we do have the Capsi. I guess so. We are committed to just going off. Can't stop at this point.
I mean, he's got the Purrely Noir, which is already pretty good. And even if he gets interrupted, he can just sit on this card and try to, say to his opponent, I dare you to out it.
I mean, I guess you can also just make your Snatchy if you don't want to commit, but no, he's going all in. So, Capsi Yami way most likely. Yep. So many draws for Dinka.
And that's what you want playing Fire King.
Yeah. I guess maybe he wanted to check for Nibiru, but like still, I don't know how much it makes sense if you just want to continue to use the talent immediately, I guess. I don't know. Anyways.
So we are going to add 2 fresh cards.
Yep.
2 new cards to the hand, and discard 1.
Not going for Marshmallow, and then we are gonna discard something. I mean, we know surprises in the. We know everything pretty much, and us, Dinka, because it's the Mind Friend and then the double Yummy plus surprise. Yep, makes sense.
And I mean, you can make your opponent draw a lot of cards, but if you have the Purrely Noir, I mean, you are still safe. And even if Dinka draws a lot of cards, he still has a limited amount of interactions. So if he activates everything and you've got the answers, I mean, you'd better combo off.
I agree. But Miscellaneosaurus is a good
card.
It's a card. And so being unaffected and then possibly going for, just a Jurrac Meteor. I do agree with this, though. If we are going in, we need to set up the Herald because it disrupts so much that then with the Noir to back it up, it makes so much sense.
And you know, it reminds me a lot of Malice during the past format, where, you know, when you were playing Malice, you just went full combo because you knew that your opponent, even with like 15 cards in hand, it would be very hard for him to just go through the field and get rid of the follow-up. So I think this is pretty much the same here. He decided that, I mean, if you've got the Herald and the Purrely Noir, it's very, very hard for your opponent. Plus the surprise, plus the yummy.
Never mind.
Speaking of surprises.
And he's getting rid of the Dark Lure as well.
Yeah, that's so big. Yeah, getting rid of Dark Lure is also interesting because obviously now what Sebastian can do is just use the surprise right away. But yeah, we outed the Herald and now we are sitting on like 10 cards.
And we have the Mud Dragon. You can just call fire, and all of a sudden you cannot just get the cards out of the field with the Purrely Noir. So very, very, very strong card. So Ed must be very happy.
Ed, you know, Ed is happy.
But he drew a lot of cards. And searching for the Dogoran right here. I forgot about that, but yeah, you can do that. And you can just get rid of the Purrely Noir right away. I mean, that's very strong. Very, very strong here for Dinka. And he's got so many cards in hand.
Yeah, this really seems like checkmate. We've mentioned it, Lunalight being in the format and having success means that players are looking for outs. And I'm sure Dinka was thinking about the Liger Dancer when putting this Oviraptor plus Dogoran, but it just works so well against the Purrely Noir. And there it is, wow.
It is outed. The Purrely Noir is going to the graveyard thanks to the Dogoran of Dinka, and now he's in a pretty good spot. So yeah, of course, there is the effect of my friend, but a second polymerization. This is so strong. I mean, Gerura is on the field now. How do you resist that?
Yeah, you don't.
How do you resist that?
I mean, you just, you know, say kudos to you and call it a day. I mean, Dinka just keeps on surprising us event after event. I mean, he's just one step ahead of everyone, it seems like. Even though, of course, it might not be your day, and then he's not winning every event, he always keeps, you know, and find ways of being competitive with these kind of strategies.
And now he's going to go into the Fire King strategy, summoning back the Avatar, and I think this is it for Sebastian.
And there it is.
Dinka takes